Welcome to this explainer. Look, if your organization is deploying AI right now, you already know the regulatory landscape is shifting at absolute lightning speed, especially with the EU AI Act looming. But, well, here's a pretty surprising reality. Most companies out there are totally unprepared for an actual operational audit. They really are. So today, we're taking a close look at a brand new standard, EN 8286. It's designed to help providers of high-risk AI systems demonstrate compliance. But the catch? It's all about learning how to deploy a genuinely ready quality management system without falling into the dangerous and frankly exhausting trap of checklist compliance. You know, it's not just about having the right policies on paper. It's about how you operate every single day. And this brilliant quote from the source material hits the nail right on the head. It highlights the exact problem organizations are facing today. Standards like EN 8286 give you the what, but they definitely don't give you the how. Think of it like this. They provide a highly detailed map of clauses you have to satisfy, but they absolutely do not give you the engine to get there. They simply don't tell you how to decompose, document, and actually control your AI processes at the granular level that an auditor is going to come in and test. So, to get you audit ready before that expected late 2026 rollout, we're going to breeze through 5 key areas today. The AI compliance gap, introducing the IPE framework, crossing the compliance bridge, making AI truly auditable, and finally, accelerating your readiness. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the AI compliance gap. Now, you might already know that EN 8286 uses a harmonized structure. That's the exact same skeleton found in ISO 42001, which describes high-level stuff like organizational context, risk planning, and performance evaluation. But here's the thing. Relying merely on static policy documents or, a dusty compliance binder sitting on a shelf, that is a recipe for disaster. That's exactly where compliance programs stall out. To pass an operational audit, you need working methods. We're talking completely decomposed processes, specific named owners for every single task, and actual daily operational control. Moving right along to Section 2, introducing the IPE Framework. So, if the standard itself isn't enough, what do? Well, the Integrated Process Excellence, or IPE Framework, offers a really fascinating solution. Developed by John Catchett, it takes over 30 years of hard-won operational excellence from high-stakes industries like aerospace, automotive, manufacturing, and applies it directly to the AI era. Which is great, right? Because it means we aren't reinventing the wheel for AI governance, we're adopting a proven, battle-tested engine to manage all this complexity. Instead of that static binder we just talked about, IPE is a dynamic, self-reinforcing cycle. It starts by creating a positive environment, which then naturally flows into defining, documenting, and communicating the process. From there, you measure, control, and continuously improve it. This methodology literally turns abstract regulatory compliance into daily, controllable, and fully auditable actions at every single level of your enterprise. It's a game changer. All right, Section 3, the compliance bridge. Let's see how this all connects. I absolutely love this visual. Think of this transition as a literal bridge. On one side, you have the heavy, rigid regulatory clauses of EN 18286. And this bridge, it moves us away from theory and straight into the operational how-to of the IPE framework on the other side. This right here is how you achieve actual AI audit readiness and control, crossing over from abstract rules to concrete, everyday actions. And as you can see mapped out here, every single regulatory requirement is systematically matched with an actionable step. Clauses 4 and 5, they map directly to steps forcing granular stakeholder ownership, meaning accountability isn't just a broad job title anymore, it is assigned worksheet by worksheet. Clause 7 on support aligns with steps 3 and 4, plugging AI governance straight into your everyday business software, like your ERP or CRM systems. Clause 8 maps to a nested operational hierarchy, while clauses 9 and 10 become continuous, real-time post-market monitoring loops. Absolutely nothing is left to chance. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Section 4, making AI auditable. The absolute secret engine of the IPE framework is this thing called the KIV-KPV-KOV causal data architecture. Now that stands for key input variables, key process variables, and key output variables. Basically, it's a structured way to trace exactly how an input-level risk, say highly biased training data, propagates through your AI processes to create an output-level harm. For example, an automated hiring tool unfairly rejecting qualified applicants just based on their zip code. This causal chain proves mathematically to an auditor exactly why a control sits where it does. You aren't just showing that a control exists, you're proving its necessity and tracking its effectiveness from start to finish. And to satisfy those massive operational requirements we mentioned earlier, the whole complex AI lifecycle is broken down into this three-level nested structure: area, activity, and element. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a living hierarchy than just a structure. It totally eliminates those flat, useless checklists. It's a system that scales seamlessly, whether you're looking at a single data labeling workstation or an entire global enterprise. Every part of the AI lifecycle has a defined home, an owner, and a control. And finally, Section 5, accelerating your readiness, because we need to get this done fast, right? Now, if building all of this from scratch sounds impossible or just totally exhausting, there's a shortcut. Rather than starting with a blank, intimidating page, organizations can utilize pre-built IP packs. There are actually 81 of these packs, spanning domains from healthcare to manufacturing to IT. They bring decades of industry-specific process knowledge literally right to your doorstep. By adopting a dedicated pack scoped specifically to the EU AI Act, your compliance program is built on solid operational infrastructure from day one. You get pre-mapped activities and pre-built worksheets for things like data governance and model validation. And that causal risk architecture we just talked about, it comes pre-populated to track algorithmic bias, data representativeness, and model drift right out of the box. Plus, the whole shebang is tied together with master KPI mapping tables. It's incredible. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one provocative thought. Ask yourself, would your current process infrastructure hold up under strict regulatory scrutiny today? Really think about it. Evaluate your existing governance right now, because relying on static policies simply will not survive the regulatory hammer of the EU AI Act. You need actual operational control. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I highly encourage you to dive deeper into the IPE framework to safeguard your AI deployments.